Alright guys, welcome back to Exotic Car Hacks, and today we are talking McLaren again. The world's biggest shit brand that just sold to the Saudis now for good has released probably one of the best products in modern years for a supercar, and it's called the 765LT. Now, if you have been following this channel, you know this isn't my first McLaren 765. As a matter of fact, it is my third 765, my first coupe, then my second Spider, which you did see on the channel, the white on blue, and now to this final one that will stay here for quite some time. So why the 765 now? Let's just clarify a few things, and I'll talk a little bit about the modifications on this as well. The first thing is that the 765 pricing was up in the 700K range post-COVID and has now dropped back to near and below MSRP, which makes the 765 one of the best bargains on the market under $500,000, or at $500,000 if you're talking about a beautiful roof scoop or a Spider. This particular car is a very rare variation of carbon pack 1, 2, and 3 and roof scoop, things that you don't find in combination quite often, and in this particular case comes with a very rare papaya spark paint for a 500K MSRP window sticker. Now, while we could have unveiled the 765 or talked about this car arriving, which you can see in this very brief video, reality is we've already done so much content on 765 that I already sent it to the shop on the very first day it arrived, just to make a few minor adjustments, which we're going to talk about right now. But first, let's hear from our sponsors. Everyone knows me as this car guy, but what if I told you that one of the ways I was able to buy all these cars has been by trading watches? But I'm not here to tell you about my other company, Watch Trading Academy. Instead, I'm here to tell you about a question I get asked at Watch Trading Academy a lot, which is, how do you sell watches confidently and, more importantly, in a safe manner online? Simply put, I use this company called Grailsy. It is a safe and very transparent way to sell a watch online. Not only do they handle the whole transaction from A to Z, but they make it safe for both the buyer and the seller, and they really cater to real buyers and not just other watch traders. As a seller, you're always getting a great premium on a watch, especially when you're selling it. And as a buyer, you never know when you can find a great deal. So definitely check them out at grailsy.com. They're an incredible company, and they've been the best place to safely buy and sell luxury watches. All right, guys, we are back, and let's take a look at some of the modifications that we have done to the perfect 765 coupe ever. So first off, we get the roof scoop, which is a must for these cars, not just for noise, but generally for value standpoint. You can't get more money than with a roof scoop. So it makes the car one of the rarest aspects of itself. And in addition to that, we of course added Novitec suspension, which gives us the ability to drop the car without slamming it, and these beautiful two-piece HREs with no rivets, and what you would call reverse rivets, just to give it that perfect Le Mans look. The reason I picked this specific wheel was because I wanted to go back to the Le Mans Heritage 720S I had, which I thought really gave the car a very good look. And so with all the carbon packs present on this car, it made sense to go with a black wheel instead of a two-tone wheel. But in addition to that, I also wanted to do something really special to the front. You see, in my opinion, the front of the 765LT is the only part of the car that is not that special compared to a modified 720. If we take a 720 and we add a body kit to it, we get a very similar to the 765 look car, which makes it kind of boring. And so for that reason, I wanted to enhance the front of the car by adding this carbon fiber hood from Vorsteiner. Really enhanced the design, and it brought it to something somewhat different than what you see with the P1 style hoods that are very common on most McLarens today. The only option I regret not getting from the factory is the MSO rear carbon fiber spoiler, which would have completed the car, because very few 765 carbon options are out there for the rear spoiler because of the new style exhaust. That said, we'll probably see more of those as the 750S gains popularity and has a very similar rear end. So this is just a brief look at my 765, because a lot of you guys have seen me driving this around town and are asking, well, how come I haven't seen this on the channel? You don't see every single car I have on the channel, but nonetheless, I do my best to kind of at least talk about every car that's come and gone, regardless that it's staying here long term or not. This is a very special car that was driven and bought to be driven. So it is going to be adding a lot of miles over the next year or so, and probably keeping it for some time. It comes fully CPO'd, so I have no worries for any type of warranty issues, and probably will not be getting exhaust because I just want the drivability to remain ultimately the same and the warranty intact. So if you've been thinking about buying a 765 LT, let me just tell you that there has not been a better time, as pricing is becoming very attractive and availability is matching that pricing really well. If you want a non-roof scoop car, assume that you'll pay around 400K. The benefit of the coupe over the Spider that I've always argued, even though the Spider is cooler, of course, is you get the butterfly doors from the LaFerrari versus something you don't get with the Spider. And I think a much better long-term collectible version of a McLaren car is going to be the 765 roof scoop with the butterfly doors, because you can't get the roof scoop with the Spider. So if you've ever considered buying one, there are a few roof scoops out on the market right now, and you could be buying one in the mid 400s all the way up to the high 400s. And of course, Spiders have now come back to sticker or near the 500K mark for well-loaded cars. So there you have it. And of course, if you want to learn how to hack cars, get in and out without losing any money, or how I've been able to beat the market with my last two 765 LTs and not put myself in a great position with this, simply click the link in the description and learn how to hack cars completely free with our 60-minute training. And otherwise, if you're ready to own your first supercar, then click the link below and join Exotic Car Hacks. Let me know what you think in the comments, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time for Exotic Car Hacks.